What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the new episode of Pokemon Joe. Today we're going to be talking about on Pokemon Go how to defeat Team Go Rocket leader Giovanni for the month of March. And we're not going to be doing any pack opening battles, so if you're looking forward to that, hit that notification bell and it'll notify you when the next video happens, because we'll be having some coming up soon. But before we get that, let's go ahead and get into this video today. Now, before I get into any real details about this, I do want to specifically point out that this is coming entirely from PokemonGoHub.net. That's a good website to use for resources when it comes to Pokemon Go. They have a lot of good news, a lot of good information, and a lot of good infographics. But what I actually like, I'm going to nerd out here, is they have really good charts. Now, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. Defeating Team Rocket's boss Giovanni, you're going to need specific counters. Now, Giovanni is the Team Go Rocket boss in Pokemon Go. His signature Pokemon for the month of March is going to be Shadow Legendary Entei. Now, after you defeat Giovanni, you have a chance to catch that Shadow Entei, but you also have a chance to get it to be shiny. Giovanni's Shadow Legendary changes every month. This page describes how to defeat Giovanni and which Pokemon are the best counter for Giovanni's Pokemon. Now, I'll tell you this page also gets updated every month, so as you can see at the top, it says March 1st. On April 1st, he'll have all the information you'll need for the next one, and of course I'll be sharing it to you. If you don't like to read, I'll read it for you. As we all know, he starts with a Persian every time. His second Pokemon can either be Tangler, Steelix, or RHyperior, and the final Pokemon is going to be Shadow Entei. Now, the best way to start this battle is going to be with a Melmetal, Torterra, and Swampert. More specifically, you want your Melmetal to have Thundershock and Superpower. If you have a second charge attack, then you're going to want that to be Thunderbolt. Your Torterra, you're going to want Razor Leaf and Frenzy Plant, but if you have a second charge attack, you want that to be Sand Tomb. And on the Swampert, you want Water Gun and Hydro Cannon, but if you have a second attack, you want that one to be Sludge Wave. Now, the second one, I would start with this one, and if he has the Steelix, I believe it is, I would back out of that one and go ahead and replace that, but we'll talk about that later. Now, with Persian being weak to fighting and resist Ghost, it's going to use Dark and normal fast moves, and it's going to use Dark, Rock, or Fairy charge moves. This combination is why they recommend Melmetal being the best counter for Persian, but Machamp and Rhyperior are not too far behind. Melmetal would have to have the superpower one, as I said above. If you have a second charge attack, go ahead and get the Thunderbolt, but you definitely want superpower. Now, other options would be Machamp with Counter and Cross Chop. If you can get a second one, get Rock Slide. Rhyperior with Mud Slap and Stone Edge. If you can get Mud Slap and Superpower. But if you can get a second charge attack, you'd want that to be Stone Edge or Rock Wrecker. Conkeldurr with Counter and Dynamic Punch would be a good option there, as well as Lucario with Counter and Aura Sphere if you have one powered up enough. Now, Lucario, Regirock, Aggron, and Giratina with non-ghost moves also perform fairly well against the Persian. Pick the best combination of CP and moves you have in storage, so you actually have quite a handful of options here, so you don't have to rush and jump onto the first one and start sinking all your Stardust into it. Now we move on to the Kingler. Kingler's weak to electric and grass. He resists fire, ice, steel, and water because he is a water type. Kingler can have Metal Claw, Bubble, or Mud Shot as the fast move, and Vice Grip, X-Scissor, Water Pulse, and Crab Hammer as charge moves. Kingler should be disposed of quickly before it can charge its hard-hitting charge moves. Pokemon like Venusaur and Roserade are excellent against Kingler, but if it has X-Scissor, you could be in a lot of trouble. That goes back to earlier whenever I was talking about you might want to switch Torterra out. If you do come across Kingler with X-Scissor, then yeah, it's going to lay waste to you. So if you would want to swap that one out with probably Giratina or Palkia. Or if you have a really good electric type, heck, even you can put in Melmetal if you have a good powered up Melmetal, or if he's still alive from the previous Persian battle. Now, Torterra with Razor Leaf, Sand Tomb, Frenzy Plant. We already said Frenzy Plant and or Sand Tomb. Razor Leaf, Frenzy Plant, and or Sludge Bomb Venusaur would work, as well as Roserade with Dazzling Gleam, Grass Knot and or Dazzling Gleam in Razor Leaf. Those are good options, but again, if he has X's, you're going to want to back out. Giratina with Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball or Ominous Wind would work. Palkia with Dragon Breath, Draco Meteor, and Hydro Pump, but Hydro Pump would be your preferred one if you can only pick one. Would be good options as well. Steelix would be the next one. Steelix is weak to fighting, fire, ground, and water. It resists a lot of other types due to Steel Tool typing. Now, if you manage to get your Melmetal through your Persian quest at the very beginning, you can also use Melmetal against here because Steelix would have that, Melmetal would have that superpower, so that would also be a good choice. Now, Steelix is weak to fighting, fire, ground, and water. Its resistance of a lot of types dual steel typing, though. Surprisingly, countering Giovanni Steelix is not an easy task. This one is definitely the hardest. It has access to Steel Dragon Electric moves. Steel as fast moves, Steel, Ground, and Dark for charge moves. Now, the Ground and Dark are really tough with some of the Pokemon available. This insane combination makes it quite difficult to pick counters, but RHyperior fares well against everything except for Earthquake. Fighting types can cover you well if they survive Persian also, and don't forget fire types. They are super important here to melt down Steelix. Now, their first recommendation and the second recommendation are Kyogre and Heatran. Now, Kyogre with Waterfall and Surf, Thunder if you need a backup move, Heatran with Fire Spin, and Flamethrower, Stone Edge if you really need a backup move on that one. But a lot of people don't have Kyogre and Heatran powered up like they would like. So your next bet would be RHyperior with Mudshot and Earthquake. Charizard with Fire Spin and Blast Burn is good unless he has Rock type moves, and that's going to really mess up your Charizard. And Machamp with Counter and Cross Chop is actually a really good choice here. And sometimes you can actually use that same Machamp against the Persian at the beginning and do really good. So that would save you Pokemon if you use Machamp. Now, as I was just singing the praises of RHyperior, we move on to RHyperior. He's double weak to water and grass. He's notably weak to fighting as well because he's half rock. For a full chart type visit, blah blah blah, you'll see it again later on. RHyperior is easily defeated by using Swampert, Kyogre, Torterra, or Roserade. Other Pokemon with water and grass attacks are a solid option as well, as long as they take reduced damage from RHyperior's fast move. So this again is why you would want Torterra, because if he's got Kingler, you're going to do good with Torterra. If he's got RHyperior, you're going to do good with Torterra. And honestly, Torterra probably could hold its own against Onix or Steelix, but not for long. Like, he would do some damage, but if you put in Torterra to start with, you have at least a 2 out of 3 chance of having something good against him. Kyogre, Waterfall with Surf, and if you want Thunder, I don't think Thunder would do any good, but just Waterfall and Surf is all you would really need, because you don't want to spend all that money on Kyogre and all those candies. So, Torterra with Frenzy Plant and Earthquake is a good shout right here. It would also be a good shout against Onix and, against Kingler as well. Venusaur, Razor Leaf with Frenzy Plant. If you needed Sludge Bomb, it's there. Swampert with Water Gun and Hydro Cannon. Again, Sludge Wave as a backup. Empoleon with Waterfall, Hydro Cannon with either Hydro Cannon, Hydro Pump, or both. That one's a really good option, but Empoleon, I believe his DPS is a little bit lower than Swampert, so it's not really a good choice. If you have a Swampert, go with Swampert. Roserade with Razor Leaf and Solar Beam with Dazzling Gleam is a backup option. It doesn't hurt to have that. Now we're on to the Coupe de Gracie, the one that everybody wants is the Entei with an ability to be shiny. This one, you can use, I would recommend water types, and apparently they do too. As I say right here, water types like Kyogre, Omastar, Swampert, and the like are, good for dealing with it. So if you have like your Swampert and your Swampert survived against either RHyperior or anybody else, just having a Swampert around doesn't hurt to go against the Entei. Now, Kyogre again, Waterfall and Surf. However, again, I tell you, people don't have them powered up. Swampert with Water Gun and Hydro Cannon, like I said, would be your best shot, because Community Day, almost everybody has one. If you don't, there's people out there that'll trade one to you. Omastar with Rock Throw and Rock Slide and or Ancient Power would be a good shout. RHyperior with Smackdown and Surf, I think, would be your better bet, but you could also use Superpower and Rock Wrecker would be good choices, but Surf would be your best choice. Palkia with Dragon Tail and Hydro Pump would be your best choice here, but Draco Meteor is a good backup. But you definitely want that Hydro Pump on that Palkia or the Surf on that RHyperior. It's always good to have a RHyperior with Surf just in case. Now, that's everything. So after you do all this, you have an opportunity to catch Shadow Entei. More specifically, you have a chance to catch shiny Shadow Entei, which isn't too bad. But I also want to give credit to the creator of Pokemon Go Hub.net. His name's Antonio, and he started the hub in July 2016 and hasn't had much sleep since, apparently. Here's his Discord username, so if you ever see him, give him a shout. And make sure you visit PokemonGoHub.net. As I said, it's the go-to place to get all your Pokemon information. As well as this very channel right here, Pokemon Joe on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, make sure you're a subscriber, give me a comment in the section, compliment or negative, either way I'm going to read it, and go ahead and hit that bell notification so you'll be notified as soon as I upload a new video. Also want to let you know, got some Dollar Tree pack openings coming up real soon. Going to fill that binder. Have a great day.